Hi everyone, welcome back, Bella here. In today's video, I want to share some tips on how to describe a person. If you're interested in today's video, please keep watching and please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you find the content helpful. Without further ado, let's jump in. Let me guess. After looking at this topic, you're probably thinking, oh shoot, I don't know what to say. Now, how do I describe a person? I should know how to describe his height, his figure, and what his facial features are like, and maybe think of something funny or interesting about him to talk about as well. Somehow it reminded me of one of the first Chinese compositions I wrote in grade 1, and it's titled My Mother. And it covered exactly all the same things mentioned above. But my question is, what if I don't know how to describe facial features except for big eyes and round face, or he's 6 feet tall, or he's skinny? Does that mean I have to take out my Longman dictionary to look for all the relevant adjectives for describing a person's appearance? Absolutely not. Now, I'm going to share a trick that I always use when I run into things that I don't have the vocabulary to talk about extensively. And the trick is to not talk about it. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not joking. It works every time. For example, when we're describing a person, we might have more to talk about his personality than his appearance. So his personality is what we should focus on. Or if you don't know how to describe either, we can then focus on some stories that happened to him that might be interesting to talk about. The key thing here is to avoid attempting to talk about an aspect of the topic that you're uncomfortable talking about, or you know you will stutter. And as they say, there's more than one way to get home. Let's go back to the things we said we might talk about a while ago, like his figure, his facial features, or his height. I know a lot of English learners might freeze, trying to fumble through all the words in their head to find the right ones. But let's take a step back and look at the question again. Why do we need to talk about these features again? When I'm asking somebody to describe a person, what I'm more interested in is who this person is and why you choose to talk about him. If, for example, you consider him your role model and that you've learned a lot about him, then I want to hear about that. I want to know what he did to make you respect him that much. His looks in this case have barely anything to do with the idea you're trying to deliver here. Hence my point. You might ask, in the English books we've read, authors often go into great detail when describing a person's appearance. Does it mean that learning to describe how a person looks is important? My answer is yes and no. Yes, if the person's appearance is crucial to your description, meaning that you are describing how this person looks in order to make a point. No, if you have to come up with a description spontaneously in a conversation or a speaking test, when you could easily think of other things about him that are much less challenging for you to describe or explain. So how do we go about this topic? Here's an example I just came up with. I want to talk about my friend Li Mei. We became friends when I was in grade 10. She was assigned to be my desk mate back then. I found that we had a lot in common. She also liked reading and watching movies. So the first weekend, I invited her over to my house and watched a movie together. From then, we became pretty much inseparable. What makes Li Mei a great friend is that whenever I felt down or uncertain of myself, she was always there to back me up. When I did poorly in my tests, she would always spend some time after school to help me with the questions I had. I remember one time when I was sick for a few days, she would come over after school every day to my house to go over the coursework with me. I would have had a much harder time catching up in class had it not been for her help. Even after we went to universities in different cities, she always stayed in touch and tried to get together during school breaks. I don't think I can find a better friend than Li Mei, who understands and supports me unconditionally. I hope I have been just as good of a friend to her all these years. It is her who showed me what a great friend is and what it means to have one in my life. Till this day, I have yet to thank our grade 10 head teachers who put us together in the first place. So, from my answer, you can tell very well what kind of person Li Mei is and how I feel about her. But I did not mention anything about her appearance or even much about her personality. The main point I was trying to make is that she was a great friend to me, and I gave some examples to show how wonderful she was. And that's exactly my point. If describing a person's appearance is not your strong suit, then pick something else about this person to talk about. Like how helpful she is, how smart she is, or how hardworking she is, to name just a few. As long as you provide some details to support your point, you have yourself a great answer for a topic that you might initially be nervous to talk about. I have also attached my sample answer down below for you to check out. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks again for taking the time to watch my video. Until next time, take care.